Hello, I'm Oladoso Adenike, the founder of Wiley Climate Action Initiative from Nigeria. And today I have a very wonderful, incredible expert in the field on climate change, security, and even food insecurity and other issues that defines us. And she has worked extensively in the sub-Sahara Africa. And today she's going to be talking about the issues on climate-related change, and she's the director and goes by the name Elizabeth Robinson, and she's a director of the Grantham Research Institute on Climate Change and the Environment at the London School of Economics and Political Science. And she's going to be sharing her experience with us and the solutions that lies on tackling the climate-related issues as it pertains to everyone. And so she's just going to introduce herself briefly to us to get to know more about her. Thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, so as Adenike said, my name is Liz Robinson, or Elizabeth Robinson, and I've been Director of Grantham Research for about the last 2 years. I'm a trained environmental economist, and I do a lot of my work in African countries, mainly I think because I used to live in Tanzania and Ghana. So I lived in Tanzania for 4.5 years and Ghana for 1.5 years. And but I got interested working on climate change actually when I took my daughters to China and for my sabbatical, and there was such extreme air pollution there at the time, and I just thought, goodness me, what's going on here? And so that sort of moved me to work into climate change. And then I sort of went back to my roots, looking at the intersection of food security and climate change. And I think certainly realizing that for African countries, to some extent, the climate crisis is a food crisis. And African countries, I think, as we all know, are being affected in so many ways by climate change. And again, as we know, the problem is caused by rich countries, higher income countries, not by African countries, but those most affected are often countries in sub-Saharan Africa. And so it seemed that, you know, there's a big gap, I think, still. There's a lot of people working on this, but there's still a gap to look at food security in the broader sense. So it's not just food production, but whether people can actually afford to buy food. And so that's what I've been working on for a few years now.
Thank you so very much.